When that sun peeks through your window, when your feet hit the floor, and the breath of life fills your lungs, understand something deep. You have already been chosen. You have already been blessed. You are not here by accident. You are here with divine purpose that is not just a sunrise. It's a divine invitation, a calling, a fresh canvas, and you, woman of grace, you get to paint it with joy. Now, I'm not talking about happiness that depends on whether the coffee brewed right or whether the traffic is light. I'm talking about joy, that deep-rooted, unshakable firing, your belly kind of joy, the kind that doesn't fade when life throws curveballs, the kind that doesn't waver when you feel unseen, unheard, or underestimated. I'm talking about a joy that is your inheritance, yours by design, yours by birthright. But let me tell you something real. Joy don't just show up. No, you've got to wake it up. You've got to speak to your soul. Look in that mirror and remind yourself, I am not who they said I was. I am not what happened to me. I am not what I lost. I am not what I lack. You say, I am blessed, I am favored, I am chosen, I am whole, and today I rise not with weight, but with wings. You don't have to wait for everything to be perfect to start your day with joy. You don't have to have it all together. You don't need 100 likes or a man to validate you. You don't need applause or a spotlight. You just need to remember who you are, and more importantly, whose you are, because a blessed woman is not one who has everything. A blessed woman is one who knows she already has enough. See, every time you open your eyes, you're being given something that money can't buy. Another shot at living with purpose. Another chance to choose peace. Another opportunity to choose joy. And sometimes that joy is a whisper, not a roar. But if you lean in close, if you listen real quiet, it will say, get up, beautiful. You've got life to live, love to give, light to shine. I know some days are heavy. I know what it feels like to carry silent battles and smile through the pain. I know what it's like to pour out and feel empty, to give love and not feel it returned. But can I remind you of something? Your value isn't up for negotiation. Your worth doesn't decrease because someone didn't see it. And your spirit doesn't break just because the world tried to bend it. You've survived storms that were meant to break you. You've walked through fires and came out glowing. Don't you ever forget the warrior that lives in your bones. Don't forget the prayers that carried you. Don't forget the times you almost gave up, but didn't. That's not weakness. That's grace under fire. That's royalty in motion. You're not just waking up. You're rising. You're not just moving. You're walking in purpose. Every step you take with love, every act of kindness, every moment you choose peace instead of chaos. That's joy. That's victory. That's power. Now I want you to look around your life, not with eyes of lack, but with eyes of gratitude. That bed you slept in, blessing. That breath in your lungs, blessing. That beating heart in your chest, blessing. That mind that still dreams, still hopes, still believes, that is a miracle. And miracles deserve celebration. Speak joy into your morning. Command your day. Don't wait for someone to offer you peace be peace. Don't wait for someone to give you love. Walk in love. Don't wait for the world to get better. Start better. From the moment you rise, you get to be the thermostat, not the thermometer. You set the temperature. You decide the energy. Tell your heart, no fear today, no comparison today, no shame, no guilt, no regrets. I walk in freedom. I rise in strength. I carry joy like a crown, and I wear my light like armor. You see, a blessed woman doesn't just survive the day. She commands it. She speaks with wisdom. She moves with grace. She knows that what she carries is more valuable than what she's missing. She doesn't measure her worth by the size of her waist or the shape of her body. She knows her value is eternal, unshaken, untouchable. She shows up in rooms where she was never expected to be. She speaks when they thought she'd be silent. She smiles even when the world has tried to steal her joy. And that right there is power. And I'll tell you something else. Joy is contagious. When you start your day with it, you light up everything around you. Your children feel it. Your coworkers see it. Your friends catch it. You become a walking reminder that joy is still possible, that grace still flows, that hope still breathes. Let your morning be a declaration. Let it be a celebration of everything you've overcome. Let it be a reminder to the enemy that you're still here. Let it be a song from your soul to heaven itself that says, "Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for keeping me. Thank you for the gift of today." Joy is not ignoring the struggle. It's rising in spite of it. It's staring down the pain and saying, "You don't own me." It's laughing when you want to cry. It's dancing when the music stops. It's showing up with your head high when life tries to keep you low. Every time you choose joy, you're rewriting the narrative. You're flipping the script. You're proving that light still wins, that beauty still rises from ashes, that love still conquers all. So start your day with praise. Start it with gratitude. Start it with power. Because you, beloved, are a blessed woman, you carry more than you know. You are stronger than you think. You are a divine creation wrapped in elegance, resilience, and fire. And when you walk like you know you're blessed, when you speak like you've already won, when you live like joy is your birthright, you don't just change your day, you change the world around you. So wake up and claim it. This is your moment. This is your morning. This is your joy. You are not waiting on a blessing. You are the blessing. You don't need permission to shine. You've already been appointed, anointed, and approved. Start your day with joy and never put it down. You see, starting your day with joy doesn't mean ignoring what's real. It means reclaiming what's eternal, because life will always give you reasons to be anxious, bitter, or discouraged. But joy isn't about denying the storm, it's about dancing in the rain. It's about lifting your head when life tries to bow it. It's about whispering, "I'm still standing," even when your knees are shaking. Because there's a strength in you that the world didn't give, and since it didn't give it, it can't take it away. There's something unshakable about a woman who knows who she is. A woman who starts her day not with complaints, but with confidence. Not with worry, but with worship. When you rise with joy, you're declaring that nothing outside of you has the power to control what's within you, that your smile isn't dependent on the situation. It's a reflection of your soul. That your peace isn't passive, it's warfare. That joy is not a luxury. It's your weapon, your fuel, your anthem. Start speaking to the day before it speaks to you, before the notifications, before the headlines, before the noise. Anchor yourself. You tell the day what it's going to be. Today I rise in peace. Today I walk in power. Today I choose joy, not because everything is perfect, but because I know who holds it all together. And when you say that out loud, heaven hears it. Hell hears it, and most importantly, you hear it, because what you speak shapes what you see. And when you speak joy, you start to see life through a different lens. The problems don't disappear, but your perspective changes. And that, my sister, is the true beginning of freedom, not when life gets easier, but when you get stronger, when you wake up and realize that everything you need to rise is already inside of you. You don't need to hustle for worth. You don't need to audition for love. You don't need to beg for what was never meant to stay. Joy teaches you to let go, to breathe, to rest, to walk in rooms with your head high, not because of ego, but because you carry something sacred. Something rare, something eternal. You carry the light. You're not just a woman. You're a vessel, a lighthouse, a reflection of grace in motion. You weren't made to blend in. You were born to stand out. And every time you choose joy in the midst of the madness, you make a declaration to every woman watching. It's possible. It's possible to rise from the ashes. It's possible to smile again. It's possible to start over. It's possible to be whole again. There are little girls watching how you carry your crown. There are broken women watching how you walk with dignity. There are weary souls drawing strength from your laughter. You think your joy is just for you, but it's so much bigger than that. It's legacy, it's healing, it's ministry in motion, and I get it. Some mornings feel heavier than others. Some mornings it's hard to even get out of bed. The weight of yesterday, the fear of tomorrow, it presses in, but that's exactly when joy must rise, not because you feel it, but because you choose it. You look that heaviness in the eye and say, "Not today." You don't wait for the feeling, you walk by faith. You rise not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. You're not just waking up for you. You're waking up for every promise attached to your name, for every destiny tied to your obedience, for every purpose locked inside of your praise. And when you open your mouth and declare joy over your day, chains break, atmospheres shift, hearts are healed. You're doing more than surviving. You're shaking the earth with your presence. And listen, joy doesn't always shout. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's just the way you breathe deep and trust the process. Sometimes it's in the silence where you find the loudest power. That stillness, that surrender, that's joy too. Not always loud, not always seen, but always present, always real. You've come too far to start doubting now. You've climbed too many mountains to forget your strength. You've cried too many tears not to walk in the reward. You don't need the world's permission to be joyful. You've already been authorized by heaven. That's why you can wake up and smile even when the bills aren't paid. That's why you can walk in peace even when the answers haven't come. That's why you can keep serving, keep loving, keep believing even when others don't understand you. Because blessed women don't move by emotions, they move by truth. And the truth is, joy is not optional. It's essential. It's your reminder that you are still connected to the source, that you are still in alignment with purpose, that you are still alive, and where there is life, there is hope. Let your first words each morning be filled with gratitude, because gratitude unlocks joy. It doesn't matter what's missing. Focus on what's present. You've got life. You've got breath. You've got one more chance to make today count. That's not small. That's sacred. You start your day with joy not because you're naive, but because you're wise. You've learned that bitterness is too expensive. Worry is too draining. Anger robs too much. But joy multiplies. Joy heals. Joy revives, and don't be afraid to protect it. You don't have to engage every argument. You don't have to reply to every message. You don't have to fix everybody's chaos. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is, "Not today, not in my space, not in my spirit, not in my morning. This joy, this peace, it cost me too much. I'm not giving it away for free. You've been through too much to live bitter. You've healed from too much to walk angry. You've cried through too much to start your day defeated." Start your day like the queen you are, with authority, with elegance, with joy, and watch how everything around you begins to respond. The atmosphere shifts when a woman of joy walks in the room. Darkness backs up. Chaos loses its voice because joy is not just a feeling, it's a force. Even your enemies won't understand how you're still standing, still glowing, still singing, still blessed. They thought the storm would destroy you, but it only refined you. They thought the delay would break you, but it only made you more determined. They thought the pain would mute your praise, but it only made it louder. And now you walk in with a joy that doesn't make sense, a joy that testifies without saying a word, a joy that carries the fragrance of resilience, a joy that whispers, "She's still here," and not just here, but stronger, wiser, more rooted, more radiant, that kind of joy. It can't be faked. It can't be taught. It comes from walking through the fire and realizing you're fireproof. It comes from losing what you thought you needed and finding what you never knew you had. It comes from breaking and being rebuilt by grace, and that's why each morning matters. That's why how you start your day matters. Because when you start with joy, you're starting with truth. You're saying, "I will not let the past define me. I will not let the weight of the world determine my worth. I am blessed, not because of what I have, but because of who I am. And every time you make that declaration, something inside of you wakes up. The little girl who used to dream, the woman who still believes, the warrior who refuses to stay silent, the queen who refuses to be small. This is your time. This is your day. This is your joy. And when you rise with it, speak from it, walk in it, nothing can stop you. And so, as your feet touch the floor and you step into a brand new day, let your very posture be praise. Let your presence declare, I am here on purpose. You are not just going through the motions, you are making moves in the spirit. You are not just existing, you're living. Every breath, every blink, every heartbeat is a reminder that you've been entrusted with today. And with that trust comes a responsibility, not just to get through the day, but to own it with joy, because joy is not passive. Joy takes up space. Joy walks into every situation with power in its stride and peace in its grip. You see, joy doesn't mean that everything around you is calm. No. Joy means you are calm in the middle of everything. Joy means you've learned to anchor your soul even when the winds howl and the waves crash. You've learned to say, I know who calms storms. I know who holds tomorrow. I know who walks with me. And when you start your day like that, grounded and grateful, there's nothing that can touch the core of who you are. Some days the enemy won't try to stop you with tragedies. He'll try with distractions, with delays, with little irritations that build into frustration. But joy is your shield. It reminds you that your emotions don't control you, that your circumstances don't dictate your identity, that your past doesn't prophesy your future. Joy says, I see what's going on, but I choose to rise anyway. Joy says, I hear the lies, but I know the truth. Joy says, I feel the weight, but I carry the light. And you don't need anyone else to hand it to you. Joy is not a gift someone gives. It's a well inside of you. It's yours to draw from. It's yours to speak into. It's yours to protect. And it's especially yours to release. Because when you move in joy, when you carry it into your conversations, into your decisions, into your silence, you become a healing space for others. You don't even have to say much. Just your peace, your posture, your quiet confidence. It tells the world she's been with grace. She walks with favor. She knows she's blessed. There's power in how you rise, in how you speak to your reflection, in how you refuse to let yesterday's weight sit on today's shoulders. Don't carry what God already lifted. Don't wear what life tried to label you with. You're not bitter. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're blessed, and when you wear that awareness like a crown, everything shifts. There are people who won't understand your joy. They'll think you're faking it. They'll assume you haven't been through anything. But let them wonder, because they weren't there when you cried yourself to sleep. They weren't there when you had to forgive without apology. They weren't there when you lost, when you bled, when you almost gave up. So they can question your joy, but they can't cancel it, because it was born in the fire, and anything born in fire comes out gold. So don't shrink for the comfort of others. Don't dim your light to make others feel secure in their shadows. Walk in your joy boldly, be a mirror for what's possible, be the evidence that joy is not a myth, it's a mindset, that peace isn't random, it's chosen, that grace isn't earned, it's received. And even if you're walking through the hardest season of your life right now, especially then, start your day with joy. Even if you have to whisper it through tears, say it. Even if your voice shakes, declare it. Because something shifts when you speak life into your morning. You might feel tired, but say it, I've got joy. You might feel lonely, but say it, I am surrounded by goodness. You might feel stuck, but say it, new things are coming. I believe in the God of more. And in time, your feelings will catch up with your faith. That's what joy does. It leads, it pulls you forward. It refuses to leave you where pain left you. It refuses to let you build a home in despair. It says, you don't belong in fear, you don't belong in shame, You don't belong in regret. Joy invites you into freedom, into laughter, into wholeness, and every single morning you get the choice to say yes. Now don't confuse joy with performance. You don't have to be perfect to walk in it. You don't need every hair in place. You don't need every detail figured out. Joy isn't about the outer, it's about the inner. You can have tears in your eyes and still radiate joy. You can be in transition, unsure of the next step, and still walk in the light of purpose. Because joy says, I may not know everything, but I know I'm not alone. Joy says, I don't have to rush. I trust the timing. Joy says, even in this I am growing, even here I am blessed. Let that be your posture, let that be your rhythm. From the time you open your eyes to the time you lay down at night, let joy be your constant companion. You'll be amazed at what changes when you decide to carry it, not because the journey gets easier, but because you get stronger, wiser, kinder, more intentional, and I know there will be mornings when you forget. When the weight feels heavier than the promise, when joy feels far away, that's okay. That's when you lean on what you know, not just what you feel. That's when you remember the testimonies. That's when you go back to the moments where grace showed up uninvited and changed everything. That's when you close your eyes and breathe deep and say, if he did it before, he can do it again. You've already survived 100% of your worst days. That's not a coincidence. That's purpose. That's divine design. You weren't built to break. You were built to bend and bounce back. You weren't created for average. You were created for impact. And that's why joy is your portion. That's why peace is your weapon. That's why love is your assignment. Start your day not just with routine, but with reverence, with sacred expectation, with the fire of hope and the calm of confidence. And when life tries to throw chaos your way, you remind yourself, I've seen too much grace to fold now. I've tasted too much mercy to go backward. I've received too many blessings to wake up bitter. You've cried. You've wrestled. You've questioned. And you're still here. You've been shaken, but not shattered. Wounded, but not wasted. Stretched, but not surrendered. And if you still have breath, then you still have victory waiting. You still have dreams to birth. You still have light to pour. You still have lives to touch. So smile. Not because it's easy, but because it's divine. Speak love, not because everyone deserves it, but because you carry it. Give grace, not because people earn it, but because you've lived it. And remember this every morning you rise with joy. You silence the lie that says you're not enough. Every day you start with gratitude. You defeat the thought that says you've missed your moment. Every step you take in peace declares that your soul has chosen a better path, a higher path. You don't need loud victories. Sometimes the win is just showing up. Sometimes the win is not quitting. Sometimes the win is choosing not to let yesterday rob today. And sometimes joy is the win, because in a world that's always chasing, comparing, striving, your decision to be joyful is radical. It's a revolution. It's a declaration to heaven and hell alike. I am unshaken. I am rooted. I am rising. You are a living testimony of what joy looks like when it has been tested, refined, and reclaimed. Keep walking in it. Keep speaking it. Keep starting with it, not because it's cute, but because it's critical. Because joy is your light in the dark. It's your song in the silence. It's your strength when you feel empty. Let it lead. Let it overflow. Let it shine through your eyes, your words, your posture, your presence. Because when you start your day with joy, you're not just preparing yourself. You're preparing the world for the impact of a blessed woman, fully awake, fully alive, and fully walking in her purpose. So as you rise tomorrow, and every day after, rise with intention. Rise with boldness, rise with joy, not because life is perfect, but because your purpose is greater than your pain. Because you understand that a blessed woman doesn't wait for peace, she brings it. She doesn't beg for strength, she embodies it. And she doesn't wait for joy to find her. She wakes up and walks in it. Let your joy speak before you do. Let it go before you and open doors. Let it carry you through the highs and the lows, the answered prayers and the unanswered questions. Because when you start your day with joy, you're not just surviving another day. You're declaring victory before your feet even hit the floor. That's not just a morning routine. That's a spiritual revolution. That's a woman who knows she's chosen. That's a woman who knows she's covered. That's a woman who knows she's blessed. And because of that, joy will always be her starting point.